Mornings are already tough to get out of bed, but it's even worse when your first step also includes sharp heel pain, and this is the classic presentation for plantar fasciitis. In this video, I'll cover everything that you need to know about plantar heel pain, including what shoes you should be wearing, load management strategies, and then what treatments are most effective. The first step in treatment is to cover pain education, load management, and footwear. For pain, one of the biggest misconceptions is that pain equals tissue damage, but if we think about pinching the skin, it's actually a great example of how this isn't necessarily true. So if you pinch your skin, obviously you're going to experience some pain, but then once you stop, the pain reduces and there's no actual tissue damage to the skin. And this is important for several different reasons. For one, if you're experiencing plantar heel pain, there can be a worry that when you experience that pain that you're tearing the plantar fascia or that you're developing a bone spur. But we know that pain doesn't actually reflect the status of the tissue, and there's plenty of people that either have some sort of tear or a bone spur who actually don't actually have pain. And the second point relates to our rehab exercises. A lot of times when someone experiences pain with the exercises, they'll discontinue because they're obviously thinking it's going to make things worse. However, as long as the pain is tolerable and it's not impacting our normal activities, we do need to load the tissues to create some sort of change. Otherwise, if we stop loading the tissues overall, every time they get loaded, they're just going to produce more pain. Speaking of load management is an important strategy when it comes to managing plantar heel pain, especially for runners. Plantar heel pain is an overload condition, meaning that you did too much too soon. Whether that means you increased your mileage too fast, you incorporated hills, or that you just didn't have enough rest in between each run. So initially there's a need to reduce the running load on the plantar fascia to allow it to calm down and then gradually build it back up. When it comes to footwear, don't get overwhelmed by all the different options. A lot of times shoes can become convoluted when we start talking about stack height, minimalist versus maximalist shoes, toe box size, pronation control, all these different things, but the best shoe is actually the one that just feels the most comfortable and is supportive for your foot. So just keep this part simple and try a couple different pairs of shoes on and then pick whichever one feels the most comfortable. Now let's get into the part that you're probably the most interested in, how to reduce the pain. And there's two primary treatment strategies that are supported by the research. The first is using Lodi taping, either with kinesiology tape or with leuco tape. And the goal here is to provide a little bit of support to offload the plantar fascia and to improve your confidence with moving. A basic way to do this is to place one strip of tape on the bottom of the foot with no tension on the tape, and then tape from the outside to the inside part of the arch with a little bit of tension on that tape, just to provide a little bit of support to that inside arch. The second treatment is to apply a stretch to the plantar fascia. To perform, cross the painful leg over the other, grab onto your big toe and gently pull it towards your shin until you feel a stretch on that inside arch. Generally, you want to hold this for 30 to 45 seconds. To apply a little bit more specific pressure, we can take our other hand and gently apply a little bit of a massage to that inside arch as well, which will just help to stretch out that plantar fascia a little bit more. Now, before getting right back into your running routine, it's important that we actually build up the strength and capacity of the plantar fascia with the goal of preparing those tissues for the impacts of running to avoid the cycle of overload and pain starting all over again. And there are two factors that you need to consider to make sure that these heel raises are actually effective. The first is that we need to load slowly. The contraction should be 3 to 4 seconds up and then a 3 to 4 second contraction back down. The plantar fascia is kind of dumb, so it needs this time under tension to actually be able to respond to the load. If you perform them too quickly, the plantar fascia actually doesn't really realize that it's been loaded and it won't actually adapt. And you can use a metronome to make sure that you're loading adequately. The second is to add load. The plantar fascia and surrounding connective tissues are actually incredibly strong tissues, so they need heavier loads to actually stimulate a change. You can use a dumbbell, a kettlebell, a backpack with weight if you're performing these at home, or a barbell to increase the load on the plantar fascia and the foot in general. The final progression of the heel raise is to place a towel underneath the toes. This will increase the stretch on the plantar fascia as well as the load. Now when we're performing these, we want to make sure that we're lifting the heels up as high as we can go, as this is where the plantar fascia will actually have the most load placed on it. This approach is typically recommended for 6 to 8 weeks. If you're not seeing any improvement towards the end, then that's typically when we start to look at something like shockwave therapy or having a custom orthotic made. Hopefully this video on plantar heel pain was helpful. If it was, go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. It'll help other people with plantar heel pain find this video as well. And if you want to stay up to date on all things running injury rehab, go ahead and subscribe to the channel over here.